I'm not exaggerating when I say Tron Ares is one of the most disappointing movies of the entire year, so here are my full spoiler-free thoughts on the best and worst parts of the movie. The film follows the CEOs of Dillinger and Encom, the two biggest tech companies in the Tron universe that both have access to the grid. They're both racing to get this one piece of code that pretty much will make whichever company gets it incredibly powerful, but they obviously have very different reasons for wanting this code. But to throw a wrinkle into things, Dillinger has been working on this super soldier AI named Ares, played by Jared Leto here, and he wants to bring Ares into the real world outside of the computer grid world. First of all, the acting across the board is pretty terrible in this movie. Like, everybody points to Jared Leto and be like, oh my god, he's gonna be the one to ruin this movie. And don't get me wrong, he's not good in the film either, but really nobody is. I think the real problem with this movie is the script is just horrible. It is like Star Wars prequels levels of just terrible and clunky dialogue, because Evan Peters, I think he's a really good actor. He is just a cartoon character in this film. Greta Lee was amazing in the movie Past Lives from a few years ago, and like I said, she plays the Encom CEO. She's kind of like the protagonist in this movie, and I could not care less about this character. She's just a nothing character. I'm not kidding you, the only way you learn anything about this character's personality, her relationship to other people, her goals and motivations for what she's doing in the movie is a 2-minute scene where Jared Leto's character, Ares, again, this like all-powerful AI, he went ahead and read through her text messages. He literally just reads off pretty much her text messages for 2 minutes, pretty much just exposition dumping. Oh yeah, that's who that character is. This is why I should care about her. It is the clunkiest scene I've ever seen in my life. Okay, this is the Tron franchise. Nobody's expecting like Oscar level acting or an amazing story. I'll admit Tron Legacy isn't the strongest in these two suits, even though I absolutely love the movie. So does Tron Ares succeed in the other areas at least? Oh no, not really, because you know what's so cool about the world of Tron is that you're in this computerized digital world of the grid that looks super cool and unique. It gives you this kind of like neon cyberpunk amazing aesthetic. Well, Tron Ares, again, the entire plot is that Dillinger wants to bring Ares, the AI, out of the grid into the real world, so most of this film is literally just spent in the real world instead of the grid, which is the entire appeal of the Tron franchise. I can't say for sure exactly how long, but I feel like there's no more than 10 minutes of this 2-hour long film that you actually spend in the grid. Again, that's the entire basis of the first two movies. 90% of those films are spent in the grid because that's what this franchise is all about. I will say there is something that this movie does carry on from Tron Legacy, and that is having an amazing soundtrack. Obviously, Tron Legacy has the iconic Daft Punk score, which no, this movie doesn't top, but it has Nine Inch Nails doing like a new kind of darker version. And I do have to give the Nine Inch Nails a lot of credit. The score is incredible in a lot of scenes. The only problem is the scenes and action moments it's playing over, I just simply didn't care about. So the score can only do so much heavy lifting. I think the biggest problem though is that this movie just fundamentally misunderstands what made the first two Tron movies, and especially Tron Legacy, such a new cult classic hit film. Now don't get me wrong, Tron Legacy bombed at the box office. It has a 51% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is about the same as Tron Ares has, which is kind of crazy to me. But Tron Legacy at least took a swing. The people that are gonna like Tron Legacy are gonna absolutely love it. It's just not for everybody. Tron Ares is kind of for nobody, because whereas Tron Legacy is, yes, taking place in this super digitalized world of the grid that's super unfamiliar and cool looking to all of us, it sounds incredible, and that's a huge reason that I love the movie. But at its core, it's also just a very simple human story of the son of a father trying to find his dad again and finding love along the way. It's a very just classic cliche story, but a lot of people can just connect to the characters in the movie because, hey, yeah, there's an emotional core and heart to the film. As I mentioned before, Tron Ares, on the other hand, focuses on two tech billionaire CEOs and a literal AI robot that does not have an emotion in him. There's just nothing to attach onto story-wise in this movie because, like I said, Greta Lee plays our main protagonist, and you only learn about who she is and her connection to other people through exposition dumping. You don't see any of these connections in the movie ever. You're just like, oh yeah, she's kind of the good guy that you should care for and root for. I'm like, I don't care. The movie really just plays it so safe. The story's so incredibly dull and boring. Even the action sequences are kind of just lackluster compared to stuff in Tron Legacy, like the iconic bike racing scene and tournaments. I think Disney made a very big mistake here in taking a franchise that already just had a very small cult following, and they tried to make this some massive blockbuster that was going to have widespread appeal. But in the process of doing that, I don't think anybody's going to like this movie. If you like the first two Tron films, there's nothing in this for you. It's almost like a soft reboot almost. And if you're not a fan of the first two Tron movies, it's not like you're randomly gonna even go check out Tron Ares or this movie's gonna win you over or anything. The universe is kind of too weird, has too much lore, that you're not gonna just jump in with this film after not liking the first two and be like, oh yeah, I'm a Tron fan now. This movie's really for nobody. So it's not like a Morbius or Madam Web level disaster or anything, but it's just a movie that left me feeling absolutely nothing. It has some really good music, a few cool looking scenes visually, but ultimately I was just like, what is the point of this film? I give it a 4 out of 10, and that's kind kind of being generous. If you've seen it, let me know your rating for it in the comments below. And if you want to see all my other movie reviews on the channel, click the playlist above my head. Thank you so much for watching.